this is Andrea Towers with TV Insider in the Hollywood-branded, unbranded lounge, and I am here with Roddenberry and Trevor Roth of Star Trek.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good.
How you doing?
Star Trek has been this incredible pop culture force for so many years, and it's so beloved by so many people. What do you think it is about it that that makes it so beloved among so many fans?
So obviously Gene Roddenberry being my father, he created the show, but I grew up sort of just around it. And it took a while for me to really get Star Trek. But once I did, I went to conventions and fans would come up to me and say how Star Trek impacted their lives in a positive way. So whether they had some sort of a turmoil in their family or whether they had a severe handicap, whatever it was that made them feel sort of cast out or not accepted, Star Trek was sort of that gateway that allowed them to believe in a better future where they weren't that way or they didn't feel that way. And it also sort of showed the idea of IDIC, infinite diversity from infinite combinations. And it's the idea that we appreciate everything that's unique and different. And so I think that speaks to everyone, and I think that's why it's been around for 56 years.
Do you have a moment where either of you realized, like, as when you were younger, when you were watching the original series, was there a moment when you were like, "This is, oh my God, I get this. I get why this is amazing, and why so many people connect with it"?
I mean, I think for me, as Rod said, the stories that are told to us by people who have been watching the show, and how it affected them. I've heard stories from everyone saying that they got hurt on the job and they used Captain Kirk's way of talking like this in order to relearn the English language, to people who've said that they've gotten out of horrible and abusive marriages because of lessons they learned from Star Trek and the strength they found in it. So for me, it's always listening to those and recognizing the power of the franchise in its effect on others. For Rod, I think his story is a little different because I feel like it was at your father's memorial that you kind of found Star Trek in that way.
Yeah. Just these amazing stories of people who had hardships in their life that have used it to, as Trevor said, just look at a better future. But to speak to the one question, there was actually an episode that I watched called "The Devil in the Dark." And it was an original series episode, and we don't have enough time for the whole thing now. And spoiler alert, by the way, after 56 years. Anyhow, there's a rock monster, it's killing humans, Enterprise is brought in to save the day. They learn that it's a creature. It's a creature protecting its young. We are there mining for its young. We don't know that we're doing that. We're mining for crystals, but that's its children. And so who's the devil in the dark? It ends up being the humans. And that was the first time that I had a little switch go, oh my God. You can do so much more with storytelling than just have a good guy and a bad guy. You can actually teach people things. You can give different perspectives. And Star Trek's done a great job of that.
Well, kind of related to that, I mean, we have all these reboots now, and we have the movies and we have the TV shows. Do you think this is something that could go on for another, 50 years with more shows and these characters?
Yes, please. No, I think definitely. We look at this 50 years, when we got to the 50th, and said, well, what is the next 50? So we definitely look far, far in advance when it comes to where we think this is going to go.
Oh, I don't think Star Trek will ever die. I really don't. And that doesn't mean it'll always be on the air. But at some point, this will slow down, and maybe there will be a break. But someone's going to bring it back, 50 years from now, for sure.
And because you're at Comic-Con, have you seen any cool cosplays? Is there anything that you've seen that you've been like, wow, that's amazing?
No, I was just at the, is it Sideshow? I was just at their booth, and they've got, I think, motion picture or Wrath of Khan, Kirk and Spock in the chair. They're great figurines. They're beautiful. The faces are perfect. It's just incredible. Not cosplay, but still, just like a beautiful representation of Kirk and Spock in Star Trek, I think, the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for stopping by. All the Star Trek shows are streaming on Paramount Plus right now.
Live long and prosper, everyone.